Hello students, welcome. So in this lecture we will see the hexagonal closed pack structure. We will revise a little bit about the closed pack structures. Suppose we have a layer A and that is arranged like this. So we have layer A, atoms are arranged like this. In this we have cavity for B layer or C layer. Means you can either place a layer B on the top of it or a layer C on the top of it. Now for example, if you have kept layer B on the top of it, the structure will look like this. The bottom layer is A layer and this blue color layer is B layer. So now we have two layers here, layer A and layer B. Again here we can see the cavity C. It means we can put C layer on the top of it, or we can also see the cavity A. It means we can put A layer also. So based on this combination, if we have a combination of AB, AB, AB layers, that we call as hexagonal closed pack structures, and that is shown here. So this layer will have AB, AB, AB and type of so on. This is called as hexagonal closed pack system. If you put C layer on the top of it, it will become ABC, ABC, ABC and so on. This we call as CCP, that is closed cubic pack, or FCC, that is face centered cubic. Out of this FCC we have already seen in the last lectures. Now we will see the HCP structure, that is hexagonal structure. Again for your understanding, layer A and layer B arrangement is shown here. Here there is layer A, on the top of it there is layer B, again there is layer A. This is one unit cell of the hexagonal system. We have layer A in the bottom, in between we have layer B, and again top we have layer A. So first we will calculate the number of atoms in this unit cell. This is made of 3 rhombic prism unit cell. Rhombic prism means it is a kind of rhombic structure. So this is one rhombic prism unit cell. In this way there are 3 rhombic prism unit cell that will give you the hexagonal unit cell. So total number of atoms, now we will see. This will come to 3 count because these are inside the unit cell. So total count is 3. This and the bottom one, they will share 1 because they are on the face will give half of its part. So now total 3 plus 1, and again at the edge there are 6 on the top side and 6 on the bottom side. So plus, so this out of this 6 it will share 1/6 part into 1 unit cell. So there are total number of atoms 12. 12 into 6 equal to 2. So 3 plus 1 plus 2, that is 6. So there are 6 number of atoms in 1 unit cell of hexagonal. And coordination number here is, for example, if you take this as a target atom, this is surrounded by 6 other atoms on the same layer, 3 atoms on the bottom layer and 3 atoms on the top layer. So 6 plus 3 plus 3 equal to total 12. So here coordination number is equal to 12. Total number of atoms is equal to 6, and the relation between A and R is given by A equal to 2R. This is because the atoms are touching together and that's why if you take radius of 2 atoms, that will give you the unit length. So you can see here there is a primitive unit cell of rhombic prism. This is one. Here this is called as primitive because total number of lattice points is equal to 1. So if you take this unit cell and if you take a basis of 2 atoms, one atom is situated at 0, 0, 0, another is at 2 by 3, 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. We will get a hexagonal unit cell. So the lattice is here hexagonal and the motif or basis is 0, 0, 0 and 2 by 3, 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. This is non-primitive. This is non-primitive because primitive unit cell has only one lattice point. Now we will see the Miller indices for planes and directions in hexagonal system. The Miller indices in SCP are little bit different than the cubic one. In cubic we have 3 Miller indices called as HKL. In HCP we have 4 Miller indices called as H, K, I and L. So here the third is redundant one. Redundant one means this I is redundant, that is unnecessary, and that is added just for the purpose of symmetry. And this fourth one we can calculate from other two. Here if you want to calculate I, we have to use H and K, that we will see now how. So that redundant index or the I index can be obtained from other two by using this formula minus H plus K, and this is just added for a symmetry. And whenever you have given a Miller indices, whether they will be in the form of HKL or whether they will be in the form of HKIL. For example, if you have given Miller indices 1, 1, 0, you can always find out the redundant Miller indices or imaginary Miller indices by using minus H plus K, and this is called as symmetry condition. If this condition gets satisfied, that is I equal to minus H plus K, then and only then the plane exists, or then and only then we can draw the plane. So keep in mind that whenever you have given a Miller indices and you have to show the plane, first you have to check the symmetry condition and then you can construct or show the plane. So as I told you, there are 4 Miller indices. So here one is A1, another is A2, third is A3, and the fourth one is coming out of the screen. For example, this two planes, one is at the bottom and one is at the top, this we call as basal plane, and for this we will find out Miller indices now. So we have a plane that is shaded in blue color, these are called as basal plane. So intercept of this plane with the unit cell is infinity, infinity, infinity and 1. So now you should say why it is 1, because that is lying at the origin. So if you draw the index system here, so we have origin here, this is the A1, this is A2, this is A3, and this axis is C. So now the plane is going through the origin, we cannot find out the Miller indices, so you have to shift the plane to the top side, or you can shift the origin to the top side. In this case, first we will shift the plane to the top side, then the new plane is shown here like this, and this plane will not work. So now for this plane in the pink color, the intercepts are infinity on A1, infinity on A2, infinity on A3, because that is parallel to all three axes, and 1 on C. It is having intercept on C at 1 unit distance. Take reciprocals 0, 0, 0, 1. This is the Miller indices for this plane. or if you shift the origin to the top side, the Miller indices will be 0, 0, 0, minus 1. Both these answers are correct. Then the planes on the faces or parallel to the c-axis are called as prism planes, and these prism planes we can find out the Miller indices very easily by using our same indices system. So this is A1, this is A2, this is A3, and this is C. So the plane is shown here for the clarity. This plane has been shown here. You can also use this technique if you have some confusion or some doubt. Now you can see that it has intercept of 1 on A1, intercept of 1 on A2. So we'll write here 1, 1, intercept of minus half on A3. So here is A3 is going on this side, so opposite will be minus A3. This is 1 unit distance, so this will be half unit distance. So plane is having intercept at half, and that is minus half on A3, and it is parallel to C. The C intercept is infinity. So it will be, if you take reciprocals, 1, 1, minus 2 and 0, includes in parenthesis. Again there are two planes, one is in green color and one is in blue color. Now we will see in this unit cell. So this is A1, this is A2, this is A3, and this is C. So first for green color, it is having intercept on A1, 1, intercept on A2 is minus 1 because A1 is here, so this axis will be minus A2 axis. It is having intercept of minus 1. A3 intercept is infinity, C intercept is infinity. Take reciprocals, 1, minus 1, 0, 0. This is Miller indices for green color plane. For the plane shaded in blue color, indices are on A1 it's infinity, on A2 it's 1, on A3 it's minus 1 because this is A3, this is minus 1. You can always use this kind of technique for finding out the Miller indices, and for C it's infinity. If you take reciprocals, it will be 0, minus 1, minus 1 and 0. If the plane is having intercept on C, that plane we can call as pyramidal plane, right? That intercept may be 1 or that intercept may be half. It should be a finite intercept. So I will not find out Miller indices for these planes. This you have to practice yourself. The procedure for finding out the direction is little bit different in the hexagonal system. We use here 3 indices A1, A2, A3 as shown in the guide hexagon. This is called as guide hexagon. Here also the third index is redundant, and that you can find out using given 2 indices. So we have 2 examples here. First you have to draw for 1, 1, minus 2, 0 direction. I will zoom this. 1, 1, minus 2 and 0. So 1, that is for A1, another second one is for A2, third is for A3, and fourth is for C. Since this is in direct space, we will directly find out the direction. So 1 unit distance along A1, this is 1 unit distance along A2, this is 1, minus 2 unit distance along A3. A3 is on the opposite side, so this side will be minus A3. So 1 unit distance along A3, 2 unit distance along A3, and here 0 unit distance along C. That is not here shown. So directly you can show the vector that join this point and the origin. Similarly, in the another example, a1 is 1, a2 is 0, a3 is -1 and c is 0. So let's try a1 equal to 1. This is a1, so this is a1 equal to 1. a2 we don't want to move because it is 0. a3 is equal to -1. So this line is a3. We don't have to move that side. We have to move opposite side. So we will come here. So this point, you have to join this point and the origin like this.